Good evening. I hope everyone had a fantastic day. I hope your evening is going well. I am so sorry that I am later than the time that I posted. I will be live. I am trying to figure out this whole YouTube thing, and I was trying to go live from my computer using the stream that I had already scheduled, but it was not cooperating, so I had to hop on my phone. Anyway, I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I hope your week is off to a great start. I hope you had a great Monday. So let's give a few minutes and see who else comes on in the room. If you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. Hey, 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 hey. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to Thrive with Shantae. I am Shantae Charles. I hope you are having a good evening. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hey, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Oh, nice. At one point, my husband and I thought we had considered moving to Murfreesboro. The only thing is they don't have a beach there. That was the downside, which really didn't matter in the end because we live in North Dakota now and there is not a beach here. So, but I was like, um, one of those people that I thought I needed to live near the beach because I grew up going to the beach every weekend in the summertime. Um, and now I hardly ever see the beach. But Murfreesboro is very nice. It's a very nice place. Very nice place. Where's everybody watching from? Come on in. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. While we're waiting for more people to join the live, I did want to let you guys know that the link to register for the oops, let me turn my volume off of my phone. The link to register for the Move to North Dakota Summit is live. It is, you can now go ahead and register. Hey, coming in from Virginia. Hey, Stacy, you can go ahead and register for the Move to Series about possibly moving to North Dakota, but you want more information. You want to get all the details, as many details as possible. You want to upgrade your ticket to the VIP experience. You want to upgrade your ticket because when you upgrade to the VIP, you're going to get the Move to North Dakota toolkit. The toolkit is going to give you access to a private Facebook group where you'll join other people who are serious about moving to North Dakota. You can make some connections with other people. You can possibly meet who is going to move to the same city you are considering and make some connections before you even move here to North Dakota. The VIP toolkit is going to include the Winter Survivor Guide. Is basically going to tell you everything you need to know to survive winter here in North Dakota. Now, don't let that scare you off. Don't let it scare you off. It's just vital information. The what else is going to be complete in the toolkit? You're also going to in the toolkit. You're going to get resources for the major most populated cities here in North Dakota. So that's Minot, Bismarck, Dickinson, Fargo, Grand Forks, Williston. Williston isn't that populated, but Williston is where the money is at because the oil is over there. So there's a lot of jobs over there in Williston. There's jobs here in Minot, Bismarck, other places. There's oil related jobs like Dickinson, but Williston has really the oil. But my husband, he works for an oil company and he is here in Minot. But if you are really serious about about the different cities, you're going to get information about housing in those cities, daycares in those cities. Each section, each city will have their own details. Also, the best thing, in my opinion, when you upgrade and you get you're going to get a list of up-to-date jobs. You heard me correctly. You're going to get a list of up-to-date jobs. So when you upgrade your ticket to the VIP, you're going to get the VIP toolkit. You're going to get access to the private Facebook group. You're going to get the city resources, or it can include housing information, where you can go to find housing, market rents in that area. You're going to have job listings, daycares, things of that nature. Now, you're not going to get the download for the toolkit immediately when you signed up. That will become available once the summit happens, because we want to make sure that you have job listings that are the most up to date. I don't want to put it together today and the summit isn't until the 22nd and those jobs are probably gone. So that's just some information I wanted to give you. And the you're able to get 20% off of your if you upgrade to your if you upgrade to the VIP ticket, you will get 20% off. That 20% off is good until Wednesday evening. So you want to go ahead and register so you can take advantage of getting that 20% off. This is going to have a lot of information included in the Move to North Dakota Summit. There is going to be an OBGYN speaking on the panel. She's going to talk about her experience being a Black woman in healthcare here in North Dakota. I'm not sure what is going on with my connection. I'm so sorry. She's going to tell you about her experience living here in North Dakota, which is a good experience because she's even thought about running for mayor in her little town. We're going to have a salon owner. She is a small business owner. She's going to talk about doing business here and raising her young daughter here. There is going to be a male on who is a travel expert. He is going to be talking about what it's like being a Black man living here in North Dakota and raising a Black son here. We're going to have a retiree. She came here. She started a daycare. She happens to be my mother. Now she is retired. And she's going to tell you about how North Dakota is great for her as a retiree, and how North Dakota actually, I'll let this little cat out of the bag, how North Dakota pays her to take care of her husband, my dad. So you want to be sure that you tune in for that, especially if you have an elderly parent that maybe you take care of, or an elderly spouse or something like that. There is also the CEO of the Homeless Coalition here, and he's going to talk about his experience here and how he came here via military, retired, and then stayed here and built a life here. And he is a Black man also. Now, this Move to North Dakota Summit is for anyone who wants to make a change. You feel like the American dream is dead. This summit is for you. It is for you because North Dakota has a lot of opportunity for high paying jobs. You do not have to be a college graduate to get a good high paying job here. The cost of housing is very affordable here. You can afford to buy a home here. Yes, we have expensive homes here, but yes, we have affordable homes here. My husband and I, we pay $290 for our home. Our home is 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage, deck, and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But anyway, I just wanted to get that little housekeeping out of the way. So go to bit.ly/Move to North Dakota Summit to get your ticket again when you upgrade to VIP. So let's get into tonight's topic. Fortune favors the bold. And this is a little bit of I guess a little bit of a study on the scripture, but it's not really deep. But let's talk about fortune favors the bold. To be quite honest, I taught on this a while ago, 2021, but it still resonates with me to this day. Fortune favors the bold. And it's based on the scripture, First Samuel chapter 17, where it talks about how the children of Israel was in a war with the Philistines, and Goliath was taunting the men or what have you. And David, he went to take his brother food and to see what would be granted to the person who kills Goliath. And when he heard Goliath going on and on, a righteous indignation rose up in him. And I get excited about that, and I'll tell you why later. But a righteous indignation rose up in David. And then he asked the men again, although he had already heard, he asked them, what would be given to the person who kills Goliath? And it was told that you get to marry the king's daughter and your family never has to pay taxes again. So I love this story because it makes me think about my own life. What if you killed a Goliath in your life? What would it bring your family? Like when I moved here to North Dakota, I was broke. Okay, I was broker than broke if there was a thing. My credit was bad. I like to say my credit was shot to shingles because I couldn't get anything on credit. Even after I started making money as a home care boss and was making six figures and with 15 employees, what have you, I still could not get anything on credit because my credit was terrible. But when I decided to move here, to make a move, to come here, it started the process, excuse me, my eyes, for not just me, but for my family. I like to say, when you decide you're going to kill the Goliath, and it may not be, I'm not talking about an actual giant, now figuratively, the giant of poverty, the giant of lack, what doors will it open for your family? Somebody has to usher in the blessing of the Lord for your family. Will it be you? Will you listen to what God is telling you? And listen, David didn't even need to hear or wait for God to say, go kill Goliath. Go kill him. He knew that what was happening was wrong. That why are we cowering from this giant when we are the children of the Most High God? A righteous indignation rose up in him. And he said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that defies the army of the living God? And he decided he was going to do something about it. And his family benefited. Like he got to marry the king's daughter. The king's daughter and his family never had to pay taxes again. So I want to ask you, what would you be willing to do to usher in the blessing for your family? You may be like me, that no one in your family has done anything out of the ordinary, just average things, but no one has ever done anything out of the ordinary, really big, to change the dynamic of your family's future. Are you willing to step out on faith and make a bold move so you can reap the fortune that God has for you? Sometimes God isn't going to tell you do A, B, C, and D. If you have already been praying for something, we have to learn to recognize when God has answered our prayer. When I was living in Georgia, I was living in Georgia for 3 years, broke, busted, and disgusted, like fed up. I had my um what I wanted, my vision written on my little whiteboard. Okay, God, I'm willing to move here, here, anywhere within reason. And these are the things I want in a job. I want my job to relocate, pay for me to relocate, because I didn't have no money to move myself there. I wanted my job to relocate me. I wanted to be able to make a wage that would allow me to be self sufficient, not need government assistance. I wanted to be able to afford an apartment without needing government assistance. So one day I was watching the news, which I never do, but my grandmother was watching the news, and I was sitting in the living room keeping her company, having a conversation. And I like to say Jesus and Brian Williams changed my life because we were having a conversation or what have you. And this is during the recession. Brian Williams says, if you're looking for a job, you need a job, stay tuned. I'm going to tell you where the jobs are at. Now, mind you, I have been in Georgia for 3 years. I was practically begging for a job and could not get a job anywhere. I was so desperate for a job. I even went to apply at McDonald's. I got to the point where I felt like I was stalking the manager to even try to get an interview, even though I was overqualified. But I wanted a job, could not get a job. So I was like, okay, he says he knows where the jobs are at. I'm going to stay tuned. So when he came back from the commercial break, he started talking about Williston, North Dakota. He says, if you're looking for a job, this is where the jobs are at. And he says, we're standing in the Walmart parking lot. And he panned the parking lot. He showed all these cars and things. And he says, some of these people, most of them, are living in their car. And not because they choose to be homeless, but because there are not enough apartments here. But there are jobs here. Then he showed a man, he started interviewing different people. He showed this man, I forget where he was from, and the guy said, I came up on the train yesterday. I went and interviewed for a job today, and tomorrow I start my job. I said, okay, hot diggity, let me look this place up. Let me look up this place. So I got online, I started looking up North Dakota. Make a long story short, I found a company that would pay for me to relocate here. And I got hired onto the nursing home via this staffing agency, but I became a permanent employee. They gave me a sign-in bonus. They gave me a lot of perks. They put me up in a hotel for a week, bunch of different things. But I have been praying for 3 years, wanting something better, wanting to be self-sufficient. And North Dakota was not on my list of places to move to. I wanted to move to Washington, Arizona, someplace warm, someplace warm. But I had to recognize the opportunity when it presented itself to me and not say, well, it is cold there. I don't know. Let me pray and see God give me a sign. God didn't need to give me a sign to tell me this is where I need to be. Everything that I was asking for was in North Dakota. So all I needed to do is say yes and make preparation to come here to North Dakota instead of hemming and hawing, consulting a bunch of people that they're broke, busted, and disgusted to, no opportunity where they're at. I had to recognize opportunity when it presented itself to me. And I had to say, okay, when I go, what is it going to change for me? What is the benefit of going to North Dakota? I couldn't get stuck on what may go wrong. I had to focus on what's the best that could happen. What's the best that could happen? I could always go back to Georgia, visit my mom and dad and family or what have you. But what's the best that can happen? Oh, I come here, I have a job, The job pays benefits. The job pays enough money where I can pay for an apartment on my own. I don't need food stamps. I don't need government assistance. I have health benefits. What's the best that could happen? Now, what's the best that could happen if I had stayed in Georgia? Still living at home with my parents. Still living at home with my parents. And by me coming to North Dakota, it opened the door for so many other people in my family to come here and have access to a better life. My parents, although they owned a home in Georgia, they were having financial troubles as well. But when I came here to North Dakota, daycare was in desperate need because the economy was booming. We were in an oil boom. And my mom did daycare when I was a little kid. I called her. I said, Mom, hey, Tish. I said, Mom, daycare is, people are desperate for daycare here. You can come here and open a daycare. And daycare was paying a lot of money. For infant, it was like $250 a week. Now, this is before COVID and, inflation and all of that. But they were paying like $250 a week for an infant. I'm like, Mom, you need to come here and do daycare or what have you. And I was pregnant with my first child. My older brother, he had children when he was in his 20s. He got married young. He had some kids young, and all of his kids are grown. And people think it's strange when I say me and my niece have kids that are in the same age range. But it's because my niece is 30 something because my brother got started young. But anyway, so when my mom heard about the opportunity here and I was going to be a new mom, she said, okay, we're going to come. My dad didn't really want to come because he didn't like the cold or what have you. But after talking to him, my dad's like, well, we've been married all this time. Wherever you're going, I'm going. So he came. They're here now. And before my mom even came here, I was telling my co-workers, hey, my mom's coming here. She's going to start a daycare. They were hounding me every day. Shantae, when is your mom going to get here? When is she opening her daycare? When is she going to get here? When is she opening her daycare? My mom had everything in place for her license and everything before she even got here. And clients lined up before she got here. My sister-in-law, she was fresh out of med school, finishing her residency, went some other places, looking for a job, doing interviews or what have you. But here, offer her the most money as someone who just finished the residency program. My brother, older brother, he came here. He had some issues because when he was young, he didn't listen to our parents and got hooked up with the wrong crowd, got in some trouble. He lived in Maryland. He had some problems finding a job. He came here. He found a job with no problem. Not just a job, not making minimum wage, but a job that he could sustain himself and take care of himself financially and not need to go back to, you know what I mean. So many other people in my family have come here now. But my point is when I made a decision to make a bold move, it didn't just change my life, it changed the life of other people in my family. It changed other people's lives. And now all of us that decided to come here, we're doing much, much better than we were doing where we lived previously. The other thing is, my husband, at one point, he got laid off from his job and he found another job, got laid off again, find another job, got laid off again. This was years ago. And while we were here in North Dakota, but oil was down and it was slow, and he would find another job. I was just like, I'm sick of this. I need a little stability. I need a little stability. And it wasn't because he was getting fired because he was a deadbeat, not going to work or whatever. It's just, sometimes life. So I decided to step on faith and start my own non-medical in-home care agency. Prior to that, I was already an independent contractor with the state of North Dakota, doing it as an individual, but I decided to step out on faith and start an agency. Doing that allowed me to hire 15 employees, and I went from making $12 an hour to making over six figures within in less than 12 months. So it didn't just change my life, financially, I changed the lives of 15 other people because I decided to make a bold move to step out on faith. If you decide to make a bold move and step out on faith, what will you gain? What will you gain? Fortune favors the bold. Sometimes you got to make a bold move. Now, you may do it scared. When I started my non medical in home care agency, I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't scared because I was. I was nervous, but I'm Pam and Isaiah's daughter. They didn't raise no punks. So you just do it anyway. Do it anyway, scared. But I was nervous because I had to get unemployment insurance. I had to get workman's comp insurance. And I'm like, okay, you always get a thought in your head. What if I spend this money, but I don't make any money? But I had to kill those thoughts and say, what is going to happen when now I make a client that pays me, and I can't remember how much it was when I could do just one client, like $5,000 a month. But what happens when I start my agency and I can hire more people instead of just making $5,000 a month on a client? I'm going to make $15,000 a month on one client because if they need 3 shifts, there's somebody 3 shifts. I can only see so many people in a day and work so much in a day. I can't take care of somebody doing 3 different shifts. So what happens when I hire people? Now, when I first started my agency, I worked 3 months straight, 7 days a week by myself because I didn't have any money to hire anybody. I did not have credit to get some credit to get a loan to be able to hire people and pay people. But it paid off. Making a bold move paid off. I'm not going to say I wasn't scared. I'm not going to say I wasn't nervous. I was. I was nervous. But I focused on, if I start my agency and when I'm able to hire people, and I make more money, if my husband ever gets laid off again, we don't have to go through this again. Because, okay, he takes care of the bills, he does this, and that, but I'm making more than $12 an hour. My little $12 an hour wasn't going to do anything because by this time, we had 2 children. Now we have 4, but at that time, we had 2 children. We had 2 children. We had rent, car insurance, so what have you. $12 an hour was not going to get it. $12 an hour was not going to get it. And to be honest, I could have started my agency way before, but I was comfortable. And this is a word to women. It's okay if your husband, your significant other, he takes care of you. That's a good thing. My daddy raised me old school. A man is supposed to, if he wants a woman, he's going to take on a wife. He needs to be able to provide. But there's nothing wrong with saying, I can contribute something to. Okay, maybe he doesn't want me to pay the mortgage, but the money I bring in could pay for vacation. The money I bring in could go to our retirement. It can go to get an investment property. See, instead of me just going to work, making $12 an hour, being comfortable, doing work as an independent contractor with the state, getting some money or what have you, I was comfortable with that because my husband made the big money, and I was comfortable. And I was like, oh, okay. And at first I wasn't comfortable because I got pregnant before we got married. And I went to work one day and I was complaining about work. And he was like, you know what? I'm tired of you coming home every day complaining about that job. Just don't go back no more. And I was like, at first I was like, okay, if you said don't go back no more. But then afterwards, I was like, I don't know about this because I was always independent, doing my own thing. I didn't know how to, but I'm saying this to say, women, we can do something. It's nothing wrong with helping a man build. It's nothing wrong with wanting a man that's going to protect and provide. And I think as Black women, when we say we want a man that protects and to provides, we always get a lot of pushback and a lot of negative connotation by us. But it amazes me that every woman of every other race, it's no big deal. In fact, their culture demands it. That before the man can take them as a wife, okay, how you going to do this? But we're taught that, oh, we're not good enough to receive that. Give me 1 second, you guys. Sorry about that. But what how will life change not only for you but for the other people if you decide to make a bold move? Fortune will come to you, but also the people that you are connected to. You know, the word says you're blessed to be a blessing. And oftentimes I think about that. I came to North Dakota. I came with just me, my boyfriend at the time. It was just us. And I didn't think about anybody else. I never thought in a million years, I never would have thought that I think it's about 18 people in my family would be here now. I did not expect my parents to move here. My younger brother and his wife, my younger brother, he didn't want to come here. He's like, I'm not moving there. I'm not moving there. But he's here. That's exactly right. Always have a new skill. Yes, yes. And I always tell women because you never know, you just never know what may happen if your husband may die or he may become ill or God forbid if he decides he's gonna just start acting a fool and he never wants to be married. He don't want to be married anymore. And then what are you gonna do? Then what are you gonna do? Go hurry up and get another man to be able to take care of you and traumatize your kids because you and daddy just broke up yesterday, but now you got a new boo thing. But um, how will it help not just you, but other people as well? I think about that because I came here. I didn't think anybody in my family was going to come here. I never would have thought about it. But I look at how all the people in my family, they came here because of me. And I don't tell anybody, I don't say this to them because you know how sometimes if you say certain things, people are like, well, you know, I on my own. You didn't help me with nothing. Which is not that I feel like they owe me anything, but the truth is they all came here because I was here first. I paved the way. I came, saw that it was a good land, reported back, and they followed. And everybody is doing very, very well here. Even with me starting this YouTube channel about 2 weeks ago or so, maybe going on 3 now, I had 9 subscribers. Yes, you heard me right. 9 subscribers. Now I have over 3,800 subscribers and 200,000 views. I'm helping other people I have never even known because I decided to make a bold move to get on YouTube, share my story, and inspire other people to help you guys do the same thing. If you have a story to tell about how you overcame, how you're doing better, don't be afraid. Turn on your phone, turn on the camera, and start talking to YouTube. Tell your story to help someone know that they may feel like they are down and out. They may feel like they don't know how they're going to make it. But, baby, if I made it, you can make it be easy. It's not always going to be a rose and sunshine. But the sun will shine. You can make it. That's all I'm on here for. is to inspire other people, to tell my story. I'm not ashamed to say that, hey, once upon a time, I was on food stamps. I was on Medicaid. If I can get off of food stamps and if I can get off of Medicaid, so can you. That does not have to be your story, your plight for the rest of your life. You don't have to raise your children in poverty. There are other options out there. If you are living somewhere where the cost of living is just extremely high, you don't see your way of getting to the other side of the struggle, there is another place in America that you can move to where the American dream is not just alive, but it is thriving. There are good quality, high paying jobs where you're going to be able to get insurance for you and your children. Not only that, you're going to be able to rent an apartment or purchase a home for an affordable rate. You don't have to worry about the bulk of your paycheck going to just surviving, but you can move to North Dakota, get a good quality, high paying job that offers you health insurance, 401k, vision for you and your children, and where you can obtain the American dream of being a homeowner. And you know, the latest scam, the latest American scam is telling people that home ownership is not a good thing. I hope nobody on here is falling for that. Telling people that home ownership is not a good thing. I recommend Fargo. Fargo is a very nice place. I like Fargo. Fargo is close to Minnesota. Depending on where you're going in Minnesota, it's either 5 minutes away, or if you're going to Minneapolis, it's 3 hours away. Fargo is very diverse. It's a diverse community, more diverse than where I'm at because you're closer to Minnesota, and Minnesota has different pockets of people. But Fargo is very nice. You have more shopping choices over there. Now, I will tell you that Fargo, the wages, from what I have seen, are not as high in Fargo as they are here on this side of North Dakota because it's further away from the oil. Oil is where the money is at. So if you're looking for the main thing is money, making money, you're gonna want to move someplace closer to where oil and oil production is, and that isn't Fargo. That's not Fargo. But wherever you may live and work at here in North Dakota, you'll be able to get a job. And I don't think anybody, as far as I have seen, in the last next month will be 13 years I will be here. No one is paying or starting to say minimum wage is where their starting pay is, because they'll be in business today, close tomorrow, because nobody's signing up for that here. Because if you've been here, you know this is where the money is at. The money is here in North Dakota. So nobody's doing that minimum wage. Mm-mm. Barely anybody. I don't even think anybody's paying, can get away with paying 10, $12 an hour here. Eh, Not that I've seen. Not that I've seen. Hey, princess. So I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope I am inspiring you to make a bold move. Make a bold move to get your fortune. Fortune favors the bold. We can't just sit on the sideline and hope and wish and pray that things will change. We got to take action. Faith without works is dead. And sometimes we're waiting for, I don't know what some of us are waiting on. Even myself, sometimes we're just waiting on God to do something. And He's like, I've done what I'm going to do. It's your turn to step out, step out on faith. Just make a step.
The movie's over.
Okay. I'm almost finished, okay?
Okay. Are you doing your video?
Yes.
Uh,
What were you eating? You better stay out of those chips. Go brush your teeth again. But make a bold move. And hey babe, let me tell you, some of your friends and even some of your family are gonna discourage you. They're gonna discourage you. It may even be your own mother that will discourage you. That will discourage you. My husband just came in. I know someone who is a nurse, and she, I'm sorry, give me one moment. I am so sorry about that. Hey. Oh, good, Jackie. Yay! 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 What, if you don't mind me asking them, you don't mind putting it on here, what city? What city? I am so happy to hear that. I am so excited to hear about that. Yay! 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 If I can just inspire one person, hey, I've done my job. I have done my job. Give it up for Jackie, y'all. Congratulations. I am so excited to say to hear that. What was I gonna say? Uh I started reading that comment and I forgot where I was at. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry, but I'm so excited. Okay, let me read the comments. My sister still won't talk to me for moving away from Atlanta to Texas. It's been 9 months. Girl, you gotta pray for her. You gotta pray for her. Pray for her. Don't hold no animosity in your heart. It's her own, it's something within her. Because if you know that a place was not serving someone well, why would you want to hold them to that place? And sometimes people get mad with you because you did something that they weren't courageous enough to do. And they're mad because you were courageous and they feel like you should have stayed where they were at. But pray for it. I'm gonna pray that the two of you will be reconciled and that there will be no division ever again between you and your sister. Okay, okay, between Fargo and Wilton. Great, great, great. Oh, yes. Sometimes your own mother can discourage you. Now, I'm fortunate enough that my that's not my mother. My mother has always wanted the best for her children, even if it means releasing her children to go and do and be whatever. My mother is probably one of the few mothers that if you go to her talking about your spouse or you got an issue, she's not gonna even entertain it and be she's gonna tell you go pray about it, y'all go work that out. She's not gonna get involved. Or if I say something about my husband, she's not gonna be like, child, I Evans or side eyeing him when she see him. My mom's just like, and if it, I've never had an issue with my sister-in-law, but if I were and were like, oh well, she did, or my mom would be like, kill that. That's not what we do in this family. We don't do that. But sometimes it can be your own mother, your own father. I know someone who is a nurse. She lived in South Carolina and she wanted to move to California. She works for the VA. She wanted to move to California just for more opportunity for something different. And in California, she would make way more money than she did in South Carolina. And everyone was discouraging her. Oh, I don't think you should go. You shouldn't go. You shouldn't go. In my opinion, her mother was like one of those people that want to hold you hostage, hold their children hostage to their dreams and desires instead of letting their children go off and flourish and be and do what they want to do and just pray that all goes well. But her mother was not like that. She was very discouraging. And a lot of other people were discouraging, telling her how expensive California is. And I said to her, if you want to go to California and you have a job lined up, go ahead and go. Yes, California is very expensive. It is very expensive. It is no denying that. But everybody in California is not struggling. Some people in California are doing very well. Everyone is not um, doing bad in California. Everyone in California is not doing bad. Some people are doing extremely well, and that could be you. So go ahead and go. So I don't know who else encouraged her to go to California, but she went. She went and she did extremely well in California. It was like every 3 months, she was getting another position and she was getting a raise, making more and more and more money. So much so that in the first year, not even a whole year of being there, she was able to buy a $500,000 house as a single woman. She was not married at the time. She bought a $500,000 house on her own. If she had stayed in South Carolina, she would not have been able to do that because she would not have been making that kind of money. Now, I think it was last month, she relocated back to South Carolina, but she sold her home, made enough money on the sale of her home that the home she's building in South Carolina, she's paying cash for it. She's going to be mortgage free. If she had stayed in South Carolina, she would not have had that option. So sometimes a move is not permanent. You may not move somewhere and be there 13 years like I've been here in North Dakota. Sometimes it's just temporary. You go, get, and leave. Go on to the next place. But don't let friends or family discourage you. And I hope this doesn't come off as rude, but especially people who have not done anything out of the ordinary. Don't listen to them. Don't let broken people keep you from your blessing. Make a bold move to get the fortune that God has for you. I hope this has encouraged you to make a bold move. You may have told some people, you may have even told your own mother or your own father. I saw this lady on YouTube and she keeps talking about the opportunities in North Dakota. I think I'm going to look into it and see if I should move there. And they say, child, ain't no black people in North Dakota. Ain't no black people, all that's Trumper town. And it's so cold there. They may not be saying, well, what opportunities are there? Tell me more. They may be discouraging. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. Think about, if you move, what's the best that can happen? How will your life change? And it may not be here to North Dakota, but it may be somewhere else you need to move. Okay, thank you. But it may not be North Dakota. North Dakota isn't for everybody. And I'll tell people that up front. It's not for everybody. But you may have been brought to this channel because God is telling you, you need to move. Start researching where is the best place for you and put a plan into action and move. Leave your family. In the scripture, God told Abraham, leave your family and go to a place where I will show you. Now he decided to take his raggedy nephew Lot with him because he loved Lot. He had no heir or what have you. But Lot brought nothing but trouble for him. Sometimes you got to leave everybody. You got to leave everybody. See them at the family reunion once every 2 years when y'all had a family reunion. See them then. But sometimes you got to leave those people to go to a better life, because people will start talking negative to you and start trying to draw you back in to the old ways, especially, and this is for black men, and I know it's not all black men, but for if you grew up in the hood, you grew up around a certain environment, you're trying to change, you're trying to do something better, you want to go to college, or you went to college, you want to make a better life, you don't want to do that stuff, people will start telling you, oh, you think you better than us. Oh, we come from the same place, but you think I'm better than us. You better than us. It's not that you think you're better than them, but you're better than standing on the block. You're better than raising your family in welfare. You're better than having 3, 4 baby mamas. You're better than that. It's not that you're better. Do they have IT jobs in North? Yes, they do. They do. There are IT jobs here. There are oil companies here that have IT positions, engineering positions, all type of positions here. There's plenty of healthcare work here. Where I live in Minot, I just read a few days ago that they got the approval to rezone some land to build another hospital here, because currently we only have one hospital in here in where I live at. But they haven't set a day or when they will pull the permits or break ground to build a new hospital, but nurses and doctors and all healthcare personnel will be needed here as well. But there's a lot of opportunity here. I just want to encourage you, make a bold move. And if anybody is discouraging you, tune them out. If you tell somebody one time and they say something negative, don't tell them anymore. Just start making plans and preparation. Plans and preparation. And I'll see you when I come back to visit. Do not let broken people keep you from your God-given destiny. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a blessed day and a prosperous future to you. And don't forget to register for the Move to North Dakota Summit. I'm going to put the link down in the description box, but you can go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly / Move to North Dakota Summit. Upgrade your ticket to the VIP experience. That's 20% off until Wednesday evening. Till next time, have a great evening, y'all.